Imagine a single man standing against the most powerful republic the world had ever seen. Imagine an army marching where no army should survive. Ice, cliffs, starvation, betrayal, and still victory. This is not a myth. This is not a legend. This is history. If military genius has a face, many believe it belongs to one name: Hannibal Barca. In the 3rd century BCE, Rome believed it was destined to rule the Mediterranean. Its legions were disciplined, its senate confident, its people convinced that no enemy could ever truly threaten them again. Carthage had already been beaten once. Its navy was shattered, its pride wounded. Rome thought the story was over. They were wrong. Hannibal Barca was born into a world of hatred. His father Hamilcar, a brilliant Carthaginian general, had fought Rome in the First Punic War. When Carthage lost, Rome imposed crushing indemnities and humiliation. According to ancient sources, Hamilcar made his young son swear an oath at an altar to never be a friend of Rome. This was not a childish promise. It was a lifetime mission. Hannibal grew up in military camps, not palaces. He learned logistics before politics, strategy before comfort. By his 20s, he spoke multiple languages, understood different cultures, and commanded loyalty not through fear, but through shared hardship. His soldiers, Africans, Iberians, Gauls, followed him because they believed in him. Rome, meanwhile, was expanding relentlessly. When Rome interfered in Iberia and supported Saguntum, an ally south of their agreed boundary, Hannibal saw it as provocation. When Saguntum fell after a brutal siege, Rome declared war. They expected a fight in Spain, or Africa, anywhere but Italy itself. Hannibal made a decision so audacious that even his allies doubted him. He would not wait for Rome to come. He would go to Rome by land, through enemy territory, across rivers, through hostile tribes, and over the Alps. With an army, with cavalry, with elephants. Modern historians still debate whether this march was madness or unmatched brilliance. The Alps were not mapped. Winter was approaching. Men froze. Horses slipped into ravines. Entire units vanished into the mountains. Yet Hannibal adapted. He negotiated. He fought. He inspired. Ancient sources describe soldiers crying from cold and exhaustion, only to rise again when Hannibal showed them Italy from the mountain peaks, Rome's homeland, lying beneath the clouds. When he descended into the Po Valley, Hannibal had lost nearly half his army. Rome should have crushed him immediately. Instead, they hesitated. Hannibal struck first. At the Ticinus River, Roman cavalry met Hannibal's elite Numidians. Rome lost. At the Trebia River, Roman commanders underestimated him again. Hannibal used terrain, timing, and deception to create a perfect trap. Roman legions were slaughtered. Rome was stunned, but not broken. They always raised more armies. In 217 BCE, near Lake Trasimon, Hannibal executed one of the greatest ambushes in military history. Fog blanketed the battlefield. Roman forces marched blindly between the hills and the water. Hannibal waited, then closed the trap. Thousands died without even forming battle lines. An entire Roman army ceased to exist. Panic swept Rome. For the first time in generations, the city feared annihilation. They appointed a dictator, Quintus Fabius Maximus. His strategy was simple and humiliating. Avoid Hannibal. No battles, no glory. Just delay, harass, and starve him out. Rome mocked Fabius as a coward, but his strategy worked. Hannibal was winning battles, but not the war, and so Rome abandoned patience. In 216 BCE, they gathered the largest army they had ever fielded, perhaps 80,000 men. They sought one decisive battle. Hannibal knew this was the moment history would remember forever. Cannae, a name that still echoes through military academies. Hannibal faced a force nearly twice his size. Rome was confident, overconfident. Hannibal arranged his weaker infantry in the center, stronger troops on the flanks, and cavalry positioned perfectly. As the Romans advanced, the Carthaginian center slowly retreated, controlled and deliberate. Rome pushed forward, believing victory was near. Then the trap closed. The flanks enveloped. Cavalry struck from behind. Rome was surrounded, completely. What followed was slaughter. Tens of thousands died in hours. Consuls, senators, veterans, lost nearly a fifth of its fighting-age male population in a single day. It was one of the most devastating defeats in human history. Any other state would have surrendered. Rome did not. Hannibal waited for Rome's allies to defect. Some did, but many did not. He marched across Italy, winning battles, breaking armies, but Rome refused to die. They avoided major engagements, cut off his reinforcements, and attacked Carthaginian holdings elsewhere. Slowly, something changed. Hannibal was winning, but not finishing. He had no siege engines, no fresh armies from Carthage. Political rivals undermined him back home. Carthage hesitated. Rome adapted. Years passed. Hannibal remained undefeated in battle, yet Rome still stood. And now in Italy, far from home, with an army that could no longer be replaced, Hannibal faced the most dangerous enemy of all not Roman legions. Not generals, but time itself. And Rome was learning how to use it. While Hannibal remained unbeaten on the battlefield, Rome began to understand something terrifyingly simple. Wars are not won only by genius, but by endurance. Hannibal could destroy armies, but Rome could replace them. After Cannae, Rome refused to negotiate. No envoys, no ransom. The survivors of the battle were punished and sent into exile. Rome turned defeat into discipline, loss into resolve. Meanwhile, Carthaginian politics were fractured and jealous. Some feared Hannibal's fame more than Rome's power. Reinforcements never came in the numbers he needed. Every year in Italy drained his army. Veterans died. Replacements were scarce. The brilliant force that crossed the Alps slowly became smaller, older, and exhausted. Then Rome shifted the war away from Hannibal himself. In Spain, Roman generals attacked Carthaginian supply lines. One young commander began to stand out not through caution, but through calculated aggression. His name was Publius Cornelius Scipio. He studied Hannibal's tactics obsessively. He learned from Roman failures and took risks Hannibal himself would respect. Scipio captured New Carthage, the heart of Carthaginian power in Iberia. He defeated Hannibal's brothers, cutting off any chance of reinforcements reaching Italy. When Hannibal's brother Hasdrubal crossed the Alps with a new army, Rome intercepted and destroyed him. His severed head was thrown into Hannibal's camp, a brutal message: "You are alone." No, Hannibal did not break. For over a decade, he remained in Italy, undefeated. But victory was slipping away in slow motion. Rome had learned how to fight a genius not by matching brilliance, but by refusing to collapse. Then Scipio did what Hannibal had done years earlier. He took the war to the enemy's homeland. Roman forces landed in North Africa. Carthage panicked. Hannibal was recalled from Italy, the land he had dominated, yet never conquered. After 16 years, he left behind a battlefield where he had never lost, but never won enough. In 202 BCE, near Zama, Hannibal and Scipio finally faced each other. Two minds shaped by the same war. But Hannibal no longer had his veteran cavalry advantage. Rome did. The elephants failed. The formation shifted. This time, Hannibal was outmaneuvered. For the first time in his life, Hannibal Barca was defeated. Carthage surrendered. Its empire ended. Rome emerged not just victorious, but unstoppable. Hannibal lived on, a political exile, hunted by Rome for years. When capture became inevitable, he chose death over humiliation. A man who broke Rome's armies refused to let Rome break him. So who is the greatest military genius ever? The man who never lost a battle, but lost the war? The civilization that learned from catastrophe and outlasted brilliance itself? Is true greatness found in tactical perfection, or in the ruthless ability to endure, adapt, and survive at any cost? If this story made you question history, power, and human ambition, then you already belong here. You're watching Myth and Ruin. If you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. If you're one subscribe, helps us bring these untold histories to life. Give this video a like and leave a comment. Your support is our motivation to keep creating. History isn't just about the past. It's about understanding who we are. Subscribe to Myth and Ruin, and don't just watch history, face it.